Come up, Mr. Triplet. Client was placed on a 2-year deferred for unlawful carrying of a weapon, ordered to complete 100 hours of community service, effective decision-making class, and a gun safety course. Completed the TRAS. TRAS says that he needed supportive outpatient treatment and a parenting class. Judge advised if client tested positive, he would be attending Young Men About Change. Young Men About Change.
He's telling him to snap into a Slim Jim right now.
When is the last time he's done a TRAS?
I slide by the office occasionally.
It was March 24th.
Of, okay, I want to schedule another one. Mr. Triplet, I'm going to keep you so close to me, you're going to think that we're in a relationship. There's no way you're going to skirt out of this thing without thinking that you're going to do anything. You've completely blown us off, and you think that you're not going to get out of this without anything? You're mistaken. I don't care who you got here with you. I'm sending you for a TRAS now, and I'm telling you, the next time you toy with us and don't do what you're supposed to do, I'm going to put you in a boot camp. Do you understand? It's a 9-month stretch that you will be doing in a boot camp, and I'm tired of these games. I'm going to test you in 30 days from today. You test positive for dope, guess what's going to happen? Right.
The earliest TRAS I have is on the 16th.
Said it.
It's either a skirt or boot camp, it looks like.
Extended, Your Honor.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm going to extend it a year.
I'll stay on it, and then
Stay on it.
Yeah, I'll stay on it as well.
Try to whip them into shape. Do whatever you can, because if you can't do it, I'm going to do it for you. And I'm telling you, you're not going to like the way I do it, Mr. Triplet.
Okay, we got this.
I'm going to keep you so close. You're going to be coming here every week to test with me, so I know that you're not using. Especially if you got 3 young kids running around. No more. Okay, what's today? Today's the 11th, so we can do it 6 days. So let's set a date now for the effective decision-making class. Okay, so we'll do it in baby steps so that we know it gets done. When is the soonest that you can have the effective decision-making class?
That's the one that I had started.
I don't know. What did you start?
I think I did start. That's the one where it was a teacher inside of the CSCD building. I did it on the inside.
Completed the effective decision.
Dude, they've got effective decision making and rational
Did they do
behavior.
that one?
Moving in the right direction.
What's
So insulting.
Because he absconded, it looks like they removed him from the SOP class. It doesn't look like he started any parenting program or the gun safety course, and none of his community service has been completed.
Okay, I'm not really concerned about the community service. My more concern are the parenting
Knowledge.
class
Experience,
and
education.
then the educational aspect of it. So that's what we do. And the fact, are you working now?
Yes, sir. I still
What do you
work.
do?
I could.
Okay, are you still at the same place that you've been the whole time? Good.
I've been on the job now about 5 years. Same
Okay,
thing.
great. That shows stability. That's fantastic. Just keep up the good work.
There you go, positive.
Don't
Yeah.
test positive,
Yes, sir.
especially if you got young kids around. So let's start working on the parenting class and then the other one, the SOP. So let's do that. I'm giving you 2 weeks. You must sign up for the supportive outpatient treatment within the next 2 weeks. When you come back here, I want to see that you've done that. And I'm telling you, you will be tested 30 days from today's date, because I want to give you enough time that there's no more weed in your system. If you stop today and don't smoke as of today, 31 days from today, you will have a clean test.
Oh, That's right, that's right.
If you don't,
I do make you proud.
you know what's gonna happen, Mr. Triplet. You understand? All right, go ahead, take a seat.
Just getting amended conditions?
Yeah, with Tori.
Can I get a dismissal file for the MK?
Logan, do you mind? On Triplet, wait a second. Can you do the extension first? Because I don't want to time out because it's been a long time and I don't, just in case, before I sign it, actually, I want to do the extension first to make sure that we don't time out. You gonna bring them up? Okay.
You can file it, I'll just leave it on pending until I see her.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Booker.
We're extending it for you.
Mr. Frasier, come on up. So,
Who's our next lucky
did
contestant?
Mr. Frasier post bond?
Yeah.
Who is posting all this money up for you, Mr. Frasier? Someone must love you so much. Is it mom? Who is it? Wow. Do they realize how much money that they could be on the hook for? Really? Because if you blow the coop, they're going to come after whoever signs that note for you. And, they'll file a lien on just about everything just to get that money back. So you blow the coop again and I revoke it. They're going to be on the hook for that, whatever. $20,006. Where do we go from here, Mr. Brooker?
Well, Judge, Mr. Frasier has always wanted to show that he can independently take care of his business, including receive help for any addictions that he struggles with, get housing, and he's done that in the last, week and a half, 2 weeks that he's been out. He's already started those processes. Hasn't completed them, but he's working on getting them done. I think he looks great. I've spoke with him outside for a few minutes.
I'm happy that you're here. You're looking better than I've seen you, right?
He sounds very clear-headed. We talked about what's the most important to him, because I did ask him that. Mr. Frasier does not want inpatient treatment, Judge. He wants to handle his treatment and rehabilitation on his own, outpatient, so he can maintain his home that he's looking to acquire through this program, his work, his relationships, so on and so forth.
And keep using.
He is willing to go as far as to have a jury trial on whichever case the state will present in order to stay out of an inpatient program. Doesn't necessarily want one, but he's willing to go that far just to show that he doesn't want to go inside for inpatient.
How are you working?
Yes, sir. But the Montrose Center, it's a program that it's funding for me.
Okay, I need proof
Yes, sir.
more than your word,
Okay.
right? Because I'm not going to take your word that you're doing this, that you're doing that. The little bunny's jumping in the woods, right?
Sir.
The proof is in the papers, in what you can show us what you're doing. You're out. I'm happy that you come here. That's the first step, right? Showing up tells me that you're willing to work with us. And if you're willing to work with us, then I'm willing to work with you. I'm not just wanting to throw you in jail and just lock you up and just throw away. No, the idea is to figure out why it continues to happen, why you lose control, so that you can get ahead of the game and reflect and think. When you get upset, how do you be able to step back so you can think, okay, God, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I say this, what's going to happen? That's maturity. That's growing up. That's being calm, cool, and collected so you don't pick up another assault, a criminal mischief, because that's what this is. Every single thing here is you lose your cool. Why? Why are you so angry? What has caused you to be so angry? There's a reason. That's what we need to get to the bottom. And I'm not good at that. Mr. Brooker's not good at that, but there are professionals that are here that can help you get to the bottom. What have you lined up?
I'm working right now,
I
temporarily.
don't care that, I care that you're working, but I want an outpatient treatment plan and program.
Yes, sir. ISOP.
Is it?
It's called ISOP through the Montrose Center. It's 4 classes a week and one on-one with the counselor a month.
Okay. Are you telling me that you're doing that?
That's, yes, sir.
Okay, I want proof.
Yes, sir.
If you were doing that, that's wonderful and that's great. But understand, you and I have been through a lot and I'm not gonna take your word for it.
Yes, sir.
So let's do this. Tell me what day you want to come back next week. Bring me proof that you are in those programs. And then if you can show me that you're in it and that you have an attendance record, because they keep logs of everything. They're not going to just not keep a log. And if you can show me that you're going on a consistent basis, I'm okay with it.
Sure.
And your case is not old, so I'm willing to prolong it a couple months so that we know that you're doing this treatment program. And if you're doing it well, we can perhaps work out some kind of an agreement with the state and with us where we will give you credit for what you're doing there and make that part of your plan here. So you don't have to double take and do it all over again. How does that sound? Are you actually doing it?
I haven't started classes yet. Classes were supposed to start this week.
It's always about to, supposed to, the about to.
In order for me to receive the funding, I have to qualify under a certain category. So I'm waiting for my medical records for my doctor to be sent over to them.
I'm not going to wait forever for you. I'm not going to sit, hope and wish and dream that you're going to get it done.
That's why I was taking it to trial.
There's got to be a time limit.
We understand, Judge, and I'll speak with Mr. Frasier about that. Maybe my office can help him obtain his medical records and get them over to the center. I think the offer is fair.
If you need help from some kind of investigator, I'm willing to give you any kind of money that you need to help you with this situation, to help him. I mean, there's only so much we can give you.
The MAC also helps with that too,
Okay.
Judge. We just need to be in communication. I think it's fair, and I'll speak with him about how I see that playing out.
Okay.
He may not be able to see from a legal standpoint. I'll help him to understand that.
So let's set this off 2 weeks, and I want to see what you've done. You must be into some kind of program within the next 2 weeks. If you've not done it, then you're going to do it my way.
Sure.
So 2 weeks should be enough time if you put your heart and soul into it. Because if you annoy people enough, they'll give you what you want. Now, don't go crazy to where you're going to land up in jail, pick up another charge. Be nice to people. Crack a joke. Be the first person in line to ask for something. And if you're nice, 9 times out of 10, you'll get what you want. If I have a problem with someone, like I have a problem with my credit card company or my light bill because they screw up, you know what I do? I'm the first person that they hear in the morning. Crack a joke. I make them feel good. And then I casually tell them what I want, what I need. And if I can get them on my side, I'll get what I want. That's what life is about, to get what you need, to get what you want. Don't butt heads with them because you're not going to get what you want. Get on it. Give 2 weeks to figure out how you're going to get into the system. I want you in within 2 weeks, Mr. Frasier. All right?
Understood. Thank you, Judge. Judge, should I receive I know.
You also need to make sure that you're not going to use dope. You're not going to use alcohol. I'm going to randomly test you. You're not to have any contact with any of the people here with regard to the assault or the criminal mischief. These are your bond conditions. I'm going to randomly test you. They're going to call you to take a test. You have to show up when they call you. If you don't show up, you know what happens. You understand, Mr. Frasier?
Understood.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Judge, should we wait for Miss Victoria to come back? I know she
Yeah,
had-
because he's going to need to sign a reset. And then, and Mr. Brooker, he also needs to wait for Tracy to sign the bond. Yeah, this, yes. Ms. Hayes,
Yes, Your Honor,
are you ready on your plea?
I am.
Did you sign all the documents?
I did.
Just hold on, sir. We'll get to you. We appointed a lawyer to Mr. Williams, didn't
Right, actually, I was just telling you, because I saw that it was him.
Yes.
Oh, Brooker, you,
I just learned. No problem.
That's why, like, you got another one in the box.
okay.
All right, is Mr. Hayes ready for,
Are you ready, Ms. Hayes?
Yeah, Sean, I'm here.
Okay, I'm gonna grab him so we can get Mr. Lane.
How is Mr. Lane
He
today?
seems good. He seems
Okay.
good.
All right.
Yes, Sean, he understood everything that we discussed. It's fine, I believe.
So what exactly are we doing? What's the time?
150 days,
What's it, what?
150 days.
All right. Is there good stuff coming up? I'm a few minutes behind. Somebody knows.
Hey, Ms. Hayes, where was the alleged place that took, where was the indecent exposure? Was it
The
a,
Metro bus stop.
there's a much, okay.
Transmission from
Oh, he's a big softy.
Hey, we'll see how it is when it comes out.
I see that here. He's ultimately a big softy.
You can see that young lady right there in the front.
It's just kind of fun to watch.
Mr. Lane?
Right hand, your left
That Mr. Lane looks totally different. That's not Mr. Lane.
I need to see him, Your Honor, I can tell you. It's him.
That's not Mr. Lane. No, it's not.
Let me see.
Oh, wait, it is, Your Honor.
You look completely different.
Yeah, I mean, a complete overhaul from when he first came in.
Ms. Hayes,
Yes,
is this
Your
the same person?
I can't see him. That's why I said I need to see him. He's off camera.
Come on, this way, Mr.
His
Lane.
voice is the same.
Right through here.
That's
I mean,
him.
this is the
That's
same
my body.
person,
Yes, Your Honor.
night and day.
You look great, Mr. Lane.
I do.
Yes,
Thank you.
I'm just, yeah,
Oh,
okay. I just want to make sure that it's the right person because I want to make sure that the good,
It is.
okay.
orange is your color.
Mr. Lane, you've got the two cases. You're charged with indecent exposure. You're also charged with evading arrest. You worked out an agreement where they're going to dismiss the indecent exposure.
Thanks.
And you're doing 150 days on the evading arrest, but you have 50 days credit. So it's basically, you're done today. You must understand, though, that the evading will go on your record. If you ever run from the cops again, you pick up another evading, they can file a felony charge on you. They can use this one to enhance you to a felony. Instead of days, you were looking at years. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Just be careful. That's all we ask. All we want our streets to be safe. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Okay? You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, right to be arraigned, charged directly of the court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, you can never change this. This is what you want to do, right?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to the offense of evading arrest?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty and sentence you to it. It is true that you had a prior assault. Is this right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. True to the enhancement. You look great. Really. Just go out there, have fun, be safe, man. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Lane.
Mr. Lane, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes.
That's all I have, man. Big excuse.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for coming. Look. Are you sure that was the same guy? I know that the scar did it for me too, but I'm telling you, it looks,
Mr. Williams, I'll be right with you. One second.
maybe he's skinnier. I don't know, man. It just-
Sometimes getting the right medications help.
I didn't see him sign.
Maybe so.
What is it?
No,
No? I appreciate it.
Good morning, Miss Nguyen. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you.
On July 4th, 2024, at 2:16 a.m., officers observed a vehicle run a stop sign and fail to yield a right-of-way stop sign while turning and almost striking the officer's patrol vehicle, causing the officer to take evasive action by braking and swerving out of the way.
Hey, Steve, hold on, Steven, in the box.
I won't say the obvious thing here.
Hey, I'm happy you made it, but I don't want to lose you. Stay with me. Good morning, Mr. Frasier. Great to see you, man.
Officers initiated a traffic stop and went over the public announcement system advising the driver to pull over to the right. And the driver stopped in the middle of the lane.
Just say-
Officers made contact with the
Charge
defendant,
the
who
truck,
was the
no
driver,
one.
and observed a strong odor of alcohol on the breath and glossy eyes. The defendant stated she was coming from the bar and she was just driving to IHOP. She also stated she had one or two drinks, one being a black lemon shot and the other being a black lemon drink. And that she had her first drink around 11:35 and her second at 12:30 p.m. The defendant stated she had ate and she did not take any medications, nor smoke or take any illegal drugs. Standard field sobriety test was conducted. HGN was a 6 of 6, walk and turn was a 3 of 8, one leg stand was a 1 of 4. The IC was read to the defendant and she consented to a breath sample. The first attempt at obtaining the sample, the defendant provided an unacceptable sample, having to conduct another breath test afterwards, with the results being a .084 and a .080.
You said she did have slurred speech and odor of alcohol, right?
Just strong odor of alcohol and glossy eyes.
That's drunk, but not very.
Okay. Ms. Nguyen, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license, ma'am? Do you have valid liability insurance? You may continue to drive. Just be careful. I am ordering you no more alcohol, no more dope. We're going to randomly test you. As long as you don't consume alcohol, any kind of illegal drugs, you will be fine with this. You have a lawyer. He will take care of you. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to come back to court, but listen to counsel and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. Okay. For now, I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, you'll get a trace for your bond conditions and everything. Guys, free to go.
Just one minor issue or question. She's finishing up a doctorate program next week, and she's going to be in classes from 8 to 5. If for some reason she calls in and has to go test on it,
Just give me a heads up if there's an issue with some kind of conflict and let me know.
Okay, and then I guess the other issue, which we can tackle when it gets closer to that time, upon graduation, she's going to Vietnam for a couple, like 2 or 3 weeks, in the end of August through the beginning of September.
It shouldn't be a problem. Just remember, I don't care where you go. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what you're celebrating. No alcohol means no alcohol from any source. If I find that you do, if I learn about it, I'm not going to be happy. And if I'm not happy, you think you're going to be happy? All I'm asking is just don't drink. That's it. At some point, this case will be over, and then you can do whatever you want. The only thing that we want you to do is remember this. I don't care if you're 30, 50, 72, remember this. Every day, someone dies from a DWI here in Harris County. All we want to do is prevent it. That's it. Okay? All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Break this break. Page 6, Bookman, come on up.
Yeah, she's drinking in Vietnam. She's being chilling on the beach and dining.
Before we get started on Mr. Bookman, just what the court, kind of agreement.
Trust
with the
me.
state is in charge. Let's get over a little bit.
Well, I get it. But, Mr. Bookman, we have certain standards here. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you come from. We have certain standards, right? And we will hold you to it. I don't care what kind of agreement you have. I expect you to live a certain way when you have an open criminal case. And if you refuse to do that, we have places for you. All I know is that now, from what I understand, he has an open DWI. He's now picked up a new case.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to do probable cause. You're now stand charged with a theft. Right? Yep. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay, look.
Thank you, Your Honor. On July 3rd, 2024, officers were dispatched to Neiman Marcus for a theft shoplifting call for service. Officers met the complainant, who is the lead loss prevention team. Complainant stated that the team reviewed the CCTV footage and observed the defendant select 2 pairs of Marc Jacobs sunglasses and hold them in his hand. The defendant then walked around with the sunglasses in his hand, and then he concealed the sunglasses inside his right pocket and started walking away from the area. The defendant made his way towards the cosmetic department,
Probably should
walking
go
through
for
all
a
points of
shirt.
sales without paying for the concealed merchandise. The total value of the sunglasses was $390. The complainant advised that they would like to press charges on the defendant.
Okay.
It is needless, Mark.
Mr. Bookman, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Hey, Stephen, can you help me out, please? Something that's completely preventable. You, some reason, have to come up and pick up a theft case now. Guess what's happening to your first case? Guess. What's happening to your DWI now? I'm taking you in. You've picked up a new case. What do you want me to do? There has to be consequence to behavior, Mr. Bookman. And the consequence is that your bond gets yanked. And that's it. He goes with you.
Remand. Well done. Sometimes there's some bite, for real.
I mean, you know, at some point, sympathy has to go throughout the window. It's something that's completely preventable, and there's just no.
And he feels guilty about
There's
it.
no excuse. I mean, really. If I allow him.
Shut
to
up,
just
Judge.
come
You
out
did
with
the right thing.
I'm enabling. I'm not gonna do that. We have enough drama. I don't need more.
So the court's aware, the agreement we have with the state is for 30 days on the DWI and dismiss the new theft case.
Did they get the property back?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm happy to do whichever you want to do. If you want to do it today, you want to do it tomorrow, but I'm not letting it go. So
Hell no.
I'm going to set the bond at 5,002 on the DWI. I will not touch the theft. I'll leave it as is. And you tell me what you want to do.
The only caveat to all this is that he's got kids and he wanted to arrange for transportation for them before he was to go in on the plea agreement. So he asked if he could report and turn himself in next week, which is now, I understand. I told him, I said, I got to run that by the judge. I'm not sure it's going to work because then you'd have to, let him out and then.
That's something, and when you go back there, talk to him. That's something that you have to think about before you start looking at Marc Jacob sunglasses. And Neiman Marcus, right? Go to Sunglasses Hut. Go somewhere else, man. It's a lot cheaper there.
There's a lot of cameras.
Not really.
Or to do it. Okay.
There you go. That's the best.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'll let you know.
All right, Judge Case 1, Alcantar, Juan. Come on up.
Hey, Vic, what,
Page 1, bottom of page 1.
Mr. Alcantara?
Sir.
Sir, you're charged with assault bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On July 4th, 2024, officers were dispatched an assault call at a business. The officer observed there to be a physical fight between several people inside the store. The complaining witness was visibly in pain and had a large laceration to the bridge of his nose and a large bump on his forehead, and claims he assaulted by the defendant. The defendant admitted to assaulting the complaining witness because he was informed by his girlfriend that she was inappropriately touched by the complaining witness. The defendant was ID'd by his government photograph.
What?
And the girlfriend said that the complainant is a healer, and she went to him for a healing, and he got on top of her and laid on her, and she felt his penis against her buttocks over her clothing. The assault occurred 20 to 25 minutes before the assault.
Well, that kind of healing, huh?
Read it again.
Okay. On July 4th, 2024, officers were dispatched to an assault call at a business.
I didn't
Officers
know.
observed there to be a physical fight between several people inside the store. The complaining witness was visibly in pain and had a large laceration to the bridge of his nose and a large bump on his forehead. The complaining witness claimed to be assaulted by the defendant. The defendant admitted to assaulting the complaining witness because he was informed by his girlfriend that she was inappropriately touched by the complaining witness. The defendant was identified by his government photograph, and when officers spoke to the girlfriend, she said that the complaining witness is a healer and she went to him for a healing. When the complaining
I get that, but how did he assault the other person? Because I didn't hear that.
his girlfriend told him, the defendant.
Right. But what did he do to the other person?
I got the first assault.
You didn't say
okay?
he punched him, kicked him, right? Did I miss that you said how?
No, Your Honor, you didn't miss it.
Right, all I have is we've got A, I've got C, but I don't have B. So I need to know how the actual assault. Did he punch him, kick him, hit him with a tire iron?
It does not state how it occurred, but the defendant did admit to striking the complainant in the face.
I need more than that, you know? I can give you a little bit of time if you can pull the OR somehow. Mr. Alcantar, take a seat for me in the jury box, please. I'm gonna revisit you in a bit. So let's wait a bit and then we can have Logan check it out. Okay.
Oh, good Lord. All right, I started getting the screen and I went back.
Next up is
I had no idea what was going on.
Daniel, come on up.
I didn't mean to sneak attack you with that particular case.
Good morning, Mr. Daniel. Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers were dispatched to a disturbance, and the complaining witness and the defendant are in a dating relationship and have a child together. The complaining witness stated that the defendant saw her talking to another male and got upset. The defendant then punched the complaining witness several times on the back of her head, causing pain. Witnesses observed the defendant assault the complaining witness.
Okay, Mr. Daniel, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I don't see a protective order been issued on Mr. Daniel's case, do you?
I'll figure that out.
The magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies Chelsea Charnel Sloan as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person, commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand? If you violate this court order, the state can and will file a violation of a protective order against you. It's one of the worst cases you can pick up. I'm also going to extend this and ordering you not to have any contact with her and not to be in possession of any weapons throughout the entirety of this case. If you violate this, guess what's going to happen? That's correct. I don't know what you have in your life. I don't know who you have in your life, but if your bond is at $10,000, do you have someone that's going to pony up that kind of money for you to get you out? I don't know. If you don't, consider that next time you're out there in the free world. You pick up a new case, you start acting a fool in the free world, I will take it away from you. You will not get another PR bond. You understand? For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria. We will have you sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take you to the jury box. We'll get your bond conditions. Do not leave until you've signed the bond conditions. And then We'll have you head on your way. When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir. So that way. So if you can file no contact and no weapons.
Just a counsel, do you have an agreement?
I know you have a,
All right, Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
page 16, Kabir, Faizan.
good morning, Mr. Kabir. Sir, I'm up here. I'm not on the floor. Up more. Look at me. You're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews of the state of Texas. You cannot afford a lawyer. A lawyer be appointed to represent you, sir. Okay.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I can't find the case.
Do you need a cause number? 251-8240.
On July 4th at 3:49 a.m., officers observed a vehicle in a moving lane of traffic sitting idle with damage to the front passenger tire. The defendant was sitting in the driver's seat, slumped over and asleep. Officers woke the defendant and he exited the vehicle. He had red bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and unsteady balance. Standard field sobriety test was conducted and a 6 of 6 on the HGN, 4 of 8 on the walk and turn, and 0 of 4 on the one leg stand. The defendant refused a breath sample and blood warrant was obtained and a blood sample was taken.
See if he has any prior DWIs, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you on something now, Mr. Kabir?
No, Your Honor. I'm not.
How old are you, sir?
26.
What do you do for a living?
I'm the owner of a healthcare consulting firm.
Are we able to go send someone now, Tracy?
No.
Mr. Kabir, if you have a drug or alcohol problem, you better address it. Because if you don't, and I see it becomes an issue, I'm going to address it for you. I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor. May I?
Don't. The only thing I want to impart to you that the drugs and alcohol stop now. I'm making it a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or any illegal drugs. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming, I will revoke your bond and put you in jail. If it becomes a repeated issue, I will put you in a rehab facility. I don't want to have to do that. My only concern is public safety. Do not drive if you don't have a license and don't consume anything. Do you have a Texas driver license? Do you have valid liability insurance? Okay, we're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer.
There is a prior DWI from June of this year in Navarro County.
Okay, I'm ordering you now not to drive any vehicle that's not equipped with an ignition interlock. Are you currently on probation or parole or any kind of, for a DWI now?
No.
What's the status of that DWI? Do you have an open DWI right now? Okay, I'm now going to put a condition on your bond that you're not allowed to be out past 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. I'm going to put a GPS monitor on you so I know that you're not out in the middle of the night. Unfortunately, because of the hurricane, we're not allowed to have people tested right now and I think that you're on something now, Mr. Kabir.
I have bipolar and schizoaffective disorder. I have bipolar and.
Then alcohol is not helping the issue, Mr. Kabir. It's only going to exacerbate anything. No more. Do you understand?
Your Honor, at this
Okay.
time, I'm not on any substances. I take multiple medications for my mental health issues, but I'm not on any unlawful or illegal substances. I'm only on prescribed medications.
Okay. No more alcohol. Do you understand?
Yes.
No smoking marijuana. If I test you for marijuana, are you going to test positive? Okay. Don't. So GPS with a 9 p.m. curfew for now, until we know that he's not out and about in the middle of the night. I'm going to have you now go to Victoria. We're going to have you sign a reset. After that, I will have you take your seat in the jury box, and then we'll be back with you shortly, Mr. Kabir.
All right, Judge, page 18, Luke, come on up. Judge J on this one?
I kind of want to see if that guy gets recalled. But I don't know if he does.
You know what? I don't know yet. I'd like to talk to him a little bit. Good morning.
Morning, Judge. How are you?
Good morning, Judge. Sir, what's the name?
James Luke. James Luke.
James Luke.
Luke.
And Judge, we'll waive PC. It's a traffic stop, and he agreed to a breath test. It's 0.16, 0.15. There's a companion felony. They found some 2 grams of cocaine, I believe, under the car.
See any prior DWIs, please?
There's no priors.
Okay. So is that all it is a traffic stop? They go, they search, they find cocaine, and then blows a 16 or 15 into 16 or what?
Traffic stop, and then they observe alcohol in the breath and the defendant disoriented. So then standard field sobriety test. And as he was being detained, they found the cocaine.
Say it again?
As he was being detained, he was seen to have thrown a bag, and that's.
Oh, you're lucky that you're not charged with an obstruction as well, sir. Then you'd be charged with another 3rd degree. Be careful what you do. I am ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. And I'm telling you, Mr. Luke, I'm going to test you like crazy. Do you understand? If I find that you have a problem, I'm going to put you in jail and I will put you in a rehab facility. I don't care if you have Jesus representing you next to your side. My only concern is public safety and you not using at all costs. Do you have a valid Texas driver license? Do you have liability insurance in your name? Okay. Stay with counsel. He will help you. If you have a drug and alcohol issue, you better address it. I'm telling you, I'm going to do it for you if it becomes a problem.
I don't know.
Felony court's the end.
Hazel Jones, Judge. I know, we've already had that discussion.
If he retains Jesus, I'd be pretty impressed.
Take note.
I have to.
You are in a very, very tough felony court. They don't screw around up there. So one false move, you could be spending a lot of time in jail. So they're very high bond. You understand this? Okay. For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria. We'll have you sign a reset. After that, you'll get retraced to your bond conditions. No alcohol, no dope. I will randomly test you. If I find any kind of issues, I'm going to put a guardian interlock on you. I will not do it at this time. Okay. Now you have a lawyer. It's your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. LeGrand. He will tell you if and when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You pick up a new case, start acting a fool out there. No more PR bonds for you. You understand? Okay, guys.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
All right, Judge, page 19, Moore.
All right. You are Sheena Moore.
Yes.
Miss Moore, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
Yes, sir.
What to do? Probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present during any questions and interviews. If you cannot afford a lawyer will be appointed to represent you.
On July 4th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a crash call on Wheeler Street in Harris County, Texas at 2 a.m. Officers already on the scene observed the defendant inside the driver's seat and an odor of alcohol on the breath. She was transported to a patrol station for standard field sobriety test, and the HGN was a 4 of 6. Walk and turn was a 3 of 8, and the 1 left stand was a 2 of 4. DIC was read and breath was taken. It was a 0.145 and a 0.137. The defendant stated that she had drank tequila in unknown amounts and that she was on her way home.
Any prior to the eyes?
No, Your Honor.
I've drank tequila in unknown amounts before.
Ms. Moore, do you have a Texas driver license, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Do you have valid liability insurance in your name?
Yes, sir.
I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of drugs, I will put you in jail and revoke your bond. You will not get any more PR bonds, man. You understand? How old are you, man? What do you do for a living? I'm sorry?
Who's thinking about Pee Wee Herman
We're
dancing?
going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. If you like your license, get on it quick. Don't sit and wait because you will hurt yourself even more and you could lose that license. So get on it quick, finding a lawyer. I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we'll get you to trace for your bond conditions, and after that, you'll be free to go. Okay? Please.
All right, Judge, page 27, Salazar.
No Fleming, I guess, huh? Are you Luis Salazar?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Salazar, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney. If you can afford one will be appointed to you. Okay.
On July 4th, 2024 at 2:23 a.m., officers observed a vehicle proceed through a red light of an intersection. Officers initiated a traffic stop and caught up to the defendant traveling at a high rate of speed. The vehicle came to a complete stop in the parking lot of a Shake Shack. Upon contact with the defendant, who was a sole occupant, officers observed red glossy eyes and a strong odor of alcohol on the breath. Stated he was just trying to find a rescue at a gas station and a bottle of Modelo at a sports bar. The defendant consented to standard field sobriety test, and HGN was a 6 of 6, walk and turn was a 3 of 8, and 1 leg stand was a 2 of 4. DIC was read, and the defendant refused to provide an answer, and so officers took his refusal to answer as declining to provide a sample, and blood was drawn pursuant to a warrant.
Ready to be honest?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Have you run his license? See if he has a license.
Yes, Your Honor.
So Salazar, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. You have a Texas driver license.
Yes, sir.
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
Sir.
You'd have liability insurance.
Oh, no, not in my name. I'm with my parents.
How old are you, sir?
21.
Do you know that you have insurance that has you covered? If you do not, then I'm not allowing you to drive until you figure that out. Okay, you have a lawyer, check with your lawyer. He will help you out with this fact, but until this point, you're not allowed to drive until I know and able to check that you have liability insurance with your name on the policy.
Yes, sir.
Understand?
Yes, sir.
I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or dope, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds. Understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. For now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria. We'll have you sign a reset. After that, I'm going to have you take your seat in the jury box while we wait for your lawyer to get here.
And his license is eligible, Your Honor.
So then we'll enter that termination. It is by consent. And you are all set, ma'am. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Look, I'll leave
Okay, this is Alyssa's fault. I'm told it's good,
Yes, thank you.
but if it's not, you know who to blame. I have no idea. Saginaw District Court.
Edgewood Village versus Harold, Kevin. And council, are we on and ready for that matter, Edgewood Village?
Yes, Your Honor, Corey Grand Mason appearing on behalf of Edgewood Village, and I also have our community manager with us as well.
All right, do we have Kevin Harrell on?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. This matter was previously set for pre-trial, so today's date for hearing, and where do we stand, Mr. Grand Mason?
Your Honor, Mr. Harrell believed that there are not necessarily habitability issues, but enforcement issues. That was his defense during the last hearing. I don't believe that there's a defense to the amount of rent that's actually owed at this time. I've received no information, letters, pictures, complaints, anything that would indicate that there were any issues with the property or with any of the neighbors, as Mr. Harrell alleges. So due to the fact that I don't believe that there's a material issue of fact as to affecting the amount of rent that's due and owing, and we would ask that a judgment be entered at this time for 3 months rent, 3 months late fees, the utilities, and that comes out to a total amount of $2,287.56. And then we would also ask for our court costs of $189.10 for a total of $2,476.66.
All right, so break that down for me on the rent, the late fees, and whatever else you had there in between.
Sure. The costs are the filing fee, the second mailing fee.
I don't have a problem.
Okay. Okay.
About
Yes.
Sure.
Sure.
I had the court costs. I'm talking about the rent and late fees.
Understood, Your Honor. It's $35 late fees for May, June, and July.
So 3 months.
Yep. So that comes out to $105. The rent charge for the lot is $405 for those 3 months. There is a rent charge of $290 for the manufactured home itself for 3 months. And then various small amounts for actual usage of water and sewer for those 3 months. And I can also give you the total amounts for those as well. It would be $8 for the water and sewer service fee for July, $11.52 for sewer, $15.04 for water. And then for June, the service fee again is $8. Sewer is $11.52, water of $16.04. And then for May, $8 for the water and sewer service fee. Sewer was, I believe, yes, $6.23, and water was $12.21. And that is the extent of the back rent, fees, and utilities requested, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Harold, do you have any dispute with the amounts that they're claiming?
I have no disputes about the amounts and claims, but nobody had come to ask me about the videos and the documentation that I have on these dogs being aggressive every time I went out my front door.
So you said dogs?
Yeah, these 2 dogs. The neighbors got 2 dogs. That's what this is all about. My safety walking out my front door.
Mr. Harry, this is not what it's all about. What it's all about is they filed a complaint for non-payment of rent.
My non-payment for rent is because of these 2 dogs have not safe in my house.
So why didn't you pay rent because of 2 dogs?
These two dogs have been, every time I walk out my house, they've been very vicious and aggressive towards me and my companion dog. Every time I walk out my front door, it's kind of stopped so far. These dogs keep
So did you call animal control, sir? Did you call animal?
I'm afraid to walk out and be outside my
Sir,
front door.
Sir, did you call animal control?
No, I did not. I was told they couldn't do nothing.
Who told you animal control couldn't do anything about wild dogs?
These aren't wild dogs. They're the people's dog. That's my neighbor's dog.
They're wild on your property. Who told you you couldn't do anything about animals trespassing on your property?
I was told this is a private area. This park is private property, and they cannot come and do anything. It's up to the management to do something about these dogs running loose.
All right. So you told me about some videos. Did you
Yes,
bring
I
any?
have video of these dogs. About how they treated me and mine every time we walked out my front door.
Did you make any written complaints to the management about these dogs?
Yes, I did. I did verbally at first, and then I did written.
I asked you about written. I didn't ask you about verbal. When did you give written notice?
When did I do my? Hold on, I gotta find out from my caregiver. We got it written down.
Oh man, I gotta find out from my
Back in
caregiver.
May was the first time.
So do you have any of those written documentations with you today?
Yeah. Yes, we got them. We got them on my phone.
Well, that's. How are you gonna present them to the court if they're on your phone?
I'm a computer illiterate, Your Honor, so I don't know how to do it.
So let me cut to the chase, Mr. Harold. What do you want to do? Do you want to pay and stay, or do you want to move?
I would like to have a safe place to live right here because I'm getting ready for back surgery, and when I get out of rehab, physical rehab, I want to be able to have a safe home to come to.
All right. So how do you pay your rent when you pay it? Do you mail it in, or?
I pay by check and drop it off at the office.
Okay. Is the office in the park where you live?
Yes, sir. I have my caregiver do it every day. That every time
Okay.
it needs to be in.
So why didn't the caregiver do it in May and June and July?
Because I told the park that I was going to put my money in escrow if they couldn't do anything about these dogs.
So did you put it in escrow?
Yes, sir. It's in escrow.
Where's it in escrow, sir?
Say that again.
Where is it in escrow? Escrow is not keeping it in a drawer in your house.
Oh,
Escrow
it's
is
in Huntington.
establishing
It's in
an
Huntington
escrow
Bank.
Did you establish an escrow account somewhere?
Yes, sir. It's in Huntington Bank.
And it's listed as an escrow account with.
Yes, they don't list it as escrow. They just listed it as a checking account.
So is it the checking account that you've had for years?
No, sir. It's one I opened up for this occasion, this reason.
So.
And it's in there for another reason.
No, Kevin, you have had your checking account for a while.
No, not this one. I've had a checking account there, but not this one that he's asking about.
So, sir, what are you asking the court to do here? How much relief do you want on your rent because of these two
I have no problem catching up on all my rent. I don't think I should owe any court costs or anything like that, but I would sure like something to be done about these dogs.
Your Honor, Your
on.
Honor, can I speak?
Hold on, man. Go ahead. Mr.
Okay, so-
Mason, you don't have any problem if your client speaks?
No, I believe she's going to discuss the measures that the park has taken and also whatever investigation they've done with regard to the neighbor's dogs specifically.
All right, go ahead, man.
So I'm the assistant manager here, and I do have the letter that he sent in on 3/7/24. This is the only letter that I have on file physically, and then he has called and made complaints, and we sent out also, I have a letter here that we sent to the neighbor regarding the domestic pets and all the things that, were given to us regarding those. He came in the following day and he updated me and let me know there was a time that Mr. Harrell also called the police, who came over to his house and actually woke him up from sleeping. The accusation at that time was His dogs were barking super loud and coming through the window, but the owner was there. There was no barking of the dogs. The officer didn't hear it. So he filled me in on what was going on and some complaints that have been made, and then obviously them coming. So we addressed it. We've approved his animals of being here as their ESA dogs. So everything through us, like our rules and regulations state that we have the right to determine the acceptability of the pets. And then also our pet registration form states that we reserve the right to determine that. And then obviously we did address that he had fencing that he needed to take down because that's not allowed. So he's the neighbor with the pets that he's complaining about has complied to everything we've asked. And
Let me stop you there. What's the neighbor's name, first of all?
his name?
Yes.
His name is Dan Weiland.
All right, and you keep saying he did this and he did that. You're talking about Mr. Weiland?
Correct. He's complied to everything that we've asked, and he's aware of the complaints. Ever since Mr. Harrell put his stuff in escrow regarding the situation, that's the last we haven't heard of anything else going on, like nothing. So I'm assuming with that conversation that we've had, if something was going on, like I said, that it stopped because we've had no more complaints.
So does Mr. Harold have animals or no?
Yes, he does.
Are his animals a problem, or are they approved by the park as well?
I was looking that up, and it looks like he also has an ESA animal. And I mean, as far as we have no issue with his pet as well.
All right, so you received a complaint letter on 3/7, March 7th, and
Correct.
you received some calls from Mr. Harrell about this. You
Correct.
addressed it with the neighbor. What's your recollection of when the neighbor rectified this?
Immediately.
Okay, when was it? I don't know what immediate was.
So actually, this must have been after he called, and Mr. Harrell called us, and we talked about another situation, because I have the letter here stated that I called, and then I delivered this the notice on 5/7 of 24, and I spoke to the tenant on 5/14. He updated his ESA papers with his pet. He came into the office as well. So he's compliant. We let him know, like I said, we have never, with anybody else, we have not had any other complaints regarding his pets or Mr. Harrell's as well. Like, no complaints on either side. Just, I think it's between the two.
Let me stop you there. So raise your right hand if you would. Do you swear or affirm the testimony about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, self you got?
Yes,
And state
I do.
your name if you would.
Katie instead of Andy.
And you're the assistant manager at this park, Edgewood Village?
Yes,
Everything you've just stated on the record is true to the best of your knowledge, belief, and understanding?
yes,
So it's your testimony that you received a letter initially March 7th, 2024. You had some follow-up calls from Mr. Harrell. You dealt with the neighbor, and as far as you know, as of May 7th, you believe the problem's been rectified. Is that correct?
correct.
All right. And what was your understanding of what the problem was with the dogs? First of all, there were 2 dogs?
I know that Mr. Weiland has 2 dogs, and I'm aware of Mr. Harrell having 1 dog.
All right, so do you know what the problem was with Mr. Weiland's dogs as it relates to Mr. Harold's property?
According to Mr. Harrell, it's not, the dogs were not out loose. He says they bark all the time, that at one point he said they barked and tried to come through a window. So it's never been anything on his property. And I also sent photos to our attorney, with the property, with both houses. Cause I also asked, I said, I'm not sure how it affects him, because when Mr. Harrell comes out his front door, the backside of Mr. Weiland's house, that he's at the backside. So like they don't face each other. They don't have any communication or any type of interaction. So I'm not sure how what the problem is or where the problem's coming from, if that makes sense.
I understand. The front door of Mr. Harold's place is opposite the front door of Mr. Weiland's.
Correct. So there shouldn't be any real interaction that, he's concerned about. And when he brought up on the first court hearing that he has video, and that he never told us that, and he's never showed us any of those things.
All right. So, Mr. Harold, are you still there?
Yes, sir.
So raise your right hand. I know I can't see you, but raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony about to give truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, sir.
So your name is Kevin Harrell, Harrell, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I have a feeling it's about to get real.
1224 South Armstrong, Saginaw, Michigan, 48609, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I can see you. How long have you lived at that property?
I believe it's almost 3 years come November.
All right. And everything you told me earlier is true to the best of your knowledge, information, and belief, is that correct?
Yes, sir. And I'll have more to say about these dogs too that she hasn't seen.
Let me ask you, sir. She says that she got a letter from you March 7th, 2024 about the dogs. Does that sound about right? March 7th, 2024?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then you followed up with some phone calls to her after that about the dogs. Is that correct?
Not her. I talked to the other manager, Jeff.
Okay, you talked to Jeff. How many phone calls did you make to Jeff?
She had numerous phone calls. Most of them are all put on recording.
All right. I asked you, how many calls did you make to Jeff?
I'll say 100.
100?
Yeah, I'll call it a lot. Almost every time I had to walk out my door with my dog.
Oh, no.
Sounds like a nuisance, Mr. Harrell. All right.
I wanted somebody to do something about me being able to be safe walking out my door.
All right, so
I'm handicapped and I'm a vet, I shouldn't be having
that. So is this an issue of barking dogs? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, they're being vicious at the windows, banging on the windows. He finally did something about that, but they still run loose in the back of my house, and everybody else is heard.
Right.
He's tossing a toy for them to chase, and they're not on chains or leashes.
The assistant manager indicated that they've addressed the issue with the tenant, that they've had him fill out some proper forms regarding the pets or the animals, I guess, and that as far as they're aware, you haven't had any problems since May 7th. Is that the case?
Oh, the only problem I've been having. Oh, it was in June. June 1st, I set another escrow, I believe, is when I put escrow in.
What happened? What about June?
Well, hold on. My caregiver's got this information down. Like I said, I'm handicapped, so that's why I document and videotaped everything, because an attorney told me to do that.
Well, what did you videotape? The dogs or what?
I videotaped how these dogs, the noise these dogs did, and how they treated me and my dog as we walked out my front door through his living room window and one front bedroom window, where they knocked all the stuff off the window there, hitting us so hard. And
Let me stop you there. How many dogs? Sir, hold on a second. How many dogs are we talking about? 2?
I'm talking about 2 German Shepherds that act very aggressive towards me and my dog.
What kind of dog do you have, sir?
I've got a mixed breed dog.
Okay.
She's mainly lab.
All right. Have these 2 German Shepherds ever bit you or your dog?
No, but when that one dog came out the window, he was right there and caught it before it got all the way out the window. And the only thing that didn't come out the window was the dog's hind legs. And I was worried about my dog more than trying to take a picture or a video of that.
Did you call the police at some point about the
Yes,
dogs?
I called the police right away.
When was that, sir?
I don't have the exact date. Don't have the exact date.
Was it March or April or May or June?
Just last month, I believe it was.
But apparently the police came out and didn't hear the barking dogs?
Well, by the time they got here, he had the screen fixed and the window closed.
All right. So it sounds like the neighbors tried to rectify the situation, to fix the situation.
No, he hasn't tried to do anything. All he does is mess with me.
Do you and him get along or no?
I told him to leave me alone, and once I told him that, everything got really bad.
All right. Well, the court's not going to be able to fix that, unfortunately.
Yes, I know. That's why the only thing I'm worried about is my safety.
Well, I can understand that.
I believe the park should make sure that I have a safe place to live since it's their area.
Well, and I agree with you, except that it sounds like they've tried to do what they can.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what more they can do or that you want them to do. I mean, you have an animal. He
Yeah,
has
well,
an animal.
these dogs are still running loose. I got pictures. I got a video of them running loose last night, and I didn't get to be able to take pictures of them this morning. And there's another issue that should have been put on your docket. It's about my windows.
What about your window?
I have windows that don't lock. I have windows I have to block open. I have windows that leak. I have windows that
How many windows? How many windows, sir?
all of them. I even got 3 windows and sills that are full of mold.
Mr. Mason, do you have any knowledge as to any of that?
I was told through.
Hold on, Mr. Harrell. Do you have any knowledge of that, counsel?
No, Your Honor, and if any repairs need to be made in a leased premises, they need to be made, the property needs to be made aware and make any of those adjustments for them. Again, Your Honor, I don't believe, based on what's before the court today, that there are any abatement issues.
All right, well, that's for the court to determine, so that's why I'm talking to this gentleman.
Understood.
Turning back to the assistant manager, have you received any written complaints regarding the windows?
No, I have not, Your Honor.
All right. Your name again, ma'am?
Katie, instead of Andy.
Can you spell that last name?
SADEHVANDI.
All right. Mr. Harrell, in many municipalities in Saginaw County, there are ordinances against animals running at large. I see those misdemeanor tickets every day. So if that continues to happen, you need to call the police and have them come out. And if they view that, I would think that they would issue a citation to the property owner regarding that. At this point, Mr. Harrell, I don't know what more the property owner can do at this point. It sounds like they've tried to address the issue. Both of you have animals. At this point, you're not disputing the rent itself. Apparently you did. I'm going to take at your word that you did escrow it. I'm going to find in favor of the landowner, the property owner, and order a judgment in that amount. That's a pay or stay. If you chose to move, that would be up to you, but it doesn't sound like you're going to do that. So I am going to find in favor of them for the amount they prayed for. And if you have any more issues, Mr. Harrell, you specifically put them in writing to the trailer park, the property owner, and you call the police. And the assistant manager, I guess I just asked that you make as much effort as you can to try and address the issue with the neighbor's dogs. If you or anybody else in the park sees them running, then contact the authorities. But it sounds to me, based upon what I've heard today, that the parks at least made reasonable efforts to try and accommodate the complaints of Mr. Harrell. So I am going to find in favor of the park. And Mr. Grant Mason, if you want to submit a judgment, and sir, you'll have 10 days to pay that. Sounds like you have the money in escrow, so hopefully that isn't an issue. All right?
I have a question, Your Honor.
Oh,
yes.
no.
The money is in escrow too for windows.
What?
The money is in escrow too for windows.
Okay, you just entered a judgment. You got to pay a
I've
relief.
been trying to get these things done since I moved in here, and I'll keep being told they get done. And
The assistant manager just testified that she hasn't.
They have.
Mr. Harrell. Mr. Harrell, you asked me a question. Let me finish. If you still have issues with the windows, put them in writing today and have your caregiver drop them off at the park, at the office. She's now heard that. So ma'am, if you can address the issue of an inspection of those windows, maybe you can rectify that issue. But
All right, I would like to state too that I also have his move-in checklist from when he moved in, and there is nothing about the windows being, because we have everybody go through everything, and it's nothing stated about the windows on this, but we will definitely take in that account.
All right, well, you now have his complaint on the record here today. And Mr. Harrell, if you can put specifically in writing which windows, how many windows, and what's wrong with them, keep a copy of that for yourself and get the original to them, then hopefully they can address that to your satisfaction. All right? We'll be in recess on this matter. Good luck to you, Mr. Harrell. Thank you, Mr. Grand Mason, and to the assistant.
Have a good day, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And then we have one other matter that I think these people have been patiently waiting.
Oh, Alyssa, what are you doing to us? That was just awful. You see, he's just a grumpy old man. As simple as that. Although it was different than usual, and that it appears he actually has the money. I think he has a beef with that guy, and that's that, and so he's trying to get at him through the dogs. I mean, German Shepherds are kind of scary. I mean, I like German Shepherds, don't get me wrong, but if they're not yours and he didn't establish that. He didn't establish that. All right. That's all I can do here in the middle of the day. I was actually doing work. Yesenia was making me do things all morning. So then I had to stream a little bit. Thank you all for coming out. I appreciate it. I will see you all soon.